So I had a very interesting thing happen last night while I was working. And this this video is gonna be really big on leadership. Like just not even necessarily leadership. I mean, it's definitely a skill that is part of leadership, but it's just the ability to, yes, lead, but lead with confidence. And the kind of confidence that isn't loud, it's calm, it's just like take my hand. I got you. You know? And the real principle of this whole thing is when you don't make things a big deal, like people will follow your lead. Like, hey, not a problem, right? And so while I was closing the deal yesterday, one of the other guys that, works alongside me was also closing a deal. And there was somebody that was there to help him because he forgot to do something along his closing process, right? And so I'm overhearing it as I'm doing my thing because I have, my phone set up and, I'm tapped in. It's on a Discord channel, right? So I'm listening to the advice that I'll just say in this case, the mentor was giving the mentee. And he's like, yo, Jay, he's like, you want to have such an absurd amount of confidence to the point where like they just blindly follow you. Like you sound like you know what you're doing so well that they'll just like, this guy knows what he's doing, I'll follow him. And it goes like that really goes into this whole principle that I learned from my first mentor ever. He'd always say, and I think he might have even gotten this from Warren Buffett, but he would always say, people are always walking around with their umbilical cords out, looking for somebody certain to plug their umbilical cord into. Sounds a little weird, right? But I absolutely believe that that is the world that we live in. A lot of people are confused, they're lost. They might even have this like raw ambition and energy, but they don't know where to put it. And because they don't know where to put it, they go nowhere. They don't know what to do with it. So they're just like, you know, it's like a rat just hopping on a hamster wheel and just spinning, a dog chasing its tail. But when I heard him say this, I'm speaking of the work experience I had last night. When he said, I'm like, literally, like, because I had the same thing happen. Like, I ran into a little issue with my thing, and I was just like, hey, so this was gonna happen is they might charge you on this day. If they do charge you, hey, no worries, not a huge problem, not the end of the world. All that's gonna happen is it'll bounce back, but you'll definitely be charged on the day that you want to be charged on moving forward. And it's just that simple. Like, hey, it's not a big deal. We've all been in the situation before where we didn't have funds in our account or whatever. We've all been through hard times, and it might be embarrassing for the other person to even disclose that information to you. And so, as a professional, rather yes, you're working in sales, any type of business negotiation. If you're on a date with a woman, let's say let's say you're a young man and you're about to take a girl back to your place. My parents are home, but not a big problem. Like, they're heavy sleepers. Like, I got you. And I'm not trying to be a bad influence, but it's really that simple. Just lead. Like, just have a sense of, like, even if you don't know what you're doing, at least for that brief moment, for the sake of their experience, like, act like you know what you're doing. You get what I'm saying? Like, and then I think the beautiful thing is because you have to act at some point. At one point for all of us, we've all had to act like we knew what we were doing, and then it worked, and then we're like, "Oh shit, this works." You know what I'm saying? Like it is really just that simple. And so I think when we step into new environments and new workspaces, like we forget this, like we forget that, oh, this is just the way life works. Sometimes you just got to act like you know what you're doing first, and then the person will just kind of blindly follow you, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I do know what I'm doing," and then you just close it out. And it's such a beautiful thing, like who knew. And the one other piece that I'll give you on top of all this to like make this point come full circle and just whole is like always have always be professional about what you're doing. Like always have that foundation of professionalism. Like, whether you're at work, even if you're dealing with people that you know personally, like friends, yeah, if you're a man dating a woman, vice versa, you're in some type of romantic fling, like just always have this foundation of professionalism where you never lose your cool. Unless like you're losing your cool for like emotional highs, and that's a whole other story. We could get into that another time, but you know, I think to always have that foundation of professionalism, like people will always remember you and think of you like, yo, that person always kept their cool. Like they were always well put together. And it is very important for your own personal brand, for your reputation to always be known as that person. And hey, we've all been in a situation where we wanted to lose our cool, or maybe even we did. If you did, ain't nothing you could do about it now. Own it, move forward, don't do it again. And it's just that simple. A lot of life is just moving forward, right? But just don't make things a problem. Things are not an issue. Things are things are cool. Everything is cool. Everything is moving forward. And yeah, I think that was a great lesson to be learned last night. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Just a little thing that I picked up, a little gem that I picked up, and just always keep that in mind. Just be cool, move forward, take control of the steering wheel, drive, and you know, be sure to be cool while you're doing it. I'll see you guys in the next one.